Guess what arrived this weekend? A brand new copy of Demon's Soul. This is the hardcover version. I'm not sure yet if I will put it on sale or not. I only have like the paperback version and ebooks also, but this is like my own copy of it. And so it has a new cover, like something big, and strangely the color of skin didn't turn out the same under here as well as the previous one. And well, I'm still happy about it, and there is like this big soul drawings that I made by myself, and well, actually I made the whole cover by myself. And so that's what it looks like inside. And I know you have it upside down, so I'm just gonna keep it long in front of you. But anyway, so today we're gonna go for chapter 9. So, what about wearing some jeans and a green sweater today? We are going out, Brownie said to Sahel. Going out, Sahel repeated all excited. Yes, I'm taking you to the park to see the duck's babies, Brownie continued. Duck's babies, Sahel repeated, raising his arm to let her put his sweater on. You'll see. Surprise, surprise, Brownie said, putting his medallion under his sweater and starting to fold his pajama. Since he had gotten all his powers, Brownie didn't want him to be separated from him. Sahel slid from the bed and clung at her jeans standing. Hey, she said, do you want to try walking? Walking, walking, Sahel repeated. Brownie took his hand and made him walk a little, but suddenly he let go of her hands and walked a few steps on his own. He started to clap, all proud of himself, but lost his equilibrium, and she just caught him before he fell. She laughed. You still need to be careful a little. Let's go hide Mr. Elephant in my room to make sure to find it when we come back. Then breakfast, then we're going. She took some old bread in a plastic bag to feed the ducks, and walked with Sahel to the front door. Viorel and Dylan were hiding in the dark at the top of the stairs. This girl is going to do something foolish again, Dylan whispered, smirking. Yeah, but she doesn't know about it, so I'm just going to make sure nothing bad happens, Viorel answered, turning the medallion that could hide you from demons in his hands. Why don't you just tell her? And why do you even care? Dylan asked. For him, caring for humans was just a waste of time. They would end up dying anyway, so sooner or later wouldn't make that much of a difference. Maybe because I just want to have some fun with demons, Viorel answered, making Dylan grin in pleasure at the idea. Or maybe because some humans are interesting, he added. Interesting, Dylan said in disbelief. How interesting? But Brownie walked out of the house with Sahel, and Viorel followed her quietly without answering his question. Dylan sighed and went back to his dark room. Sometimes he was wondering how the outside world looked like during the day. He lay down on his bed, looking at the ceiling. It was a very nice and sunny day. Brownie was happy to finally be able to go out of the house after so much time spent indoors to take care of Sahel. It was also Sahel's first day out, and he was amazed, laughing and clapping at everything, asking for the name of things. There weren't so many people at the park so early in the morning. Brownie had chosen that part of the day on purpose because in the afternoon a lot of children were always gathering around the pond, making it difficult to access with a young child. When they arrived at the pond, in the middle of the park, only an old man was sitting on the edge preparing to fish. The park was so quiet that they could hear the birds singing, which really impressed Sahel. He tried to imitate them and whistle as Brownie showed him, but ended up only blowing through his lips, giving Brownie a contagious laugh. Brownie put him on the floor to get the bread out of her backpack, He tried to walk closer to the pond to see the little duck swimming at the surface, but fell sitting on the grass. The grass was new to him, and he started to pull on some green blade, giggling at the feeling of his hand. Viorel sat in a branch of the closest tree observing them. Brownie came closer and gave Sahel some bread to throw at the ducks. "Okay, let's see who will throw it further," she said, throwing the handful in the pond. Sahel put his hand behind his shoulder and threw as far as he could, but the bread fell on the grass. He frowned, making Brownie laugh. He looked at her and frowned a bit more. He then moved his hand up, giving birth to a light wind that carried the pieces of bread to the little ducks, which rushed on it, and Sahel started to clap. "Wow, that was great! A bit cheating, but that wasn't fair from the beginning anyway," Brownie said, kissing his cheek. "I'm so proud of you." Sahel plunged his little hand deep in the bag of bread and made the pieces fly again to the duck, clapping when they reached the water. "Ducks are funny," he said. They sat in the grass for a long time, looking at the ducks turning around the water. "Let's go to the slide," Brownie suddenly said. "Slide?" Sahel said, interrogating, and clinging at her leg to get up. Brownie took his hand and made him walk there. He was making progress very fast. She carried him at the top of the slide and caught him up at the bottom. He was clapping and giggling happily. Viorel had moved with them and was now sitting on a branch 1 meter above the slide. He was observing them, a bit bored, and wishing he had taken a book. Humans were very amused by silly things. "Again, again," Sahel said as Brownie placed him at the top of the slide for the 5th time. Viorel smelled them before he actually saw them, his vampire sense of smell being more developed than those of humans. But it was still too late for thinking about running. They were walking, facing the wind. A part of him knew that it was what he had been waiting for, but another part of him had wished for a peaceful day. Brownie, too, knew that they were here before seeing them. She had seen their shadow on the ground while putting Sahel on the top of the slide. She had taken him back and was turning around to face them. It's very easy to see the difference between a bad demon and a nice demon, Hugh was trying to explain that day. "Really? Do they have something particular?" Brownie asked. "Of course. Bad demons are never alone. There's always 2 of them. I don't really know why. Also, it's written on their face that they're nasty," Hugh said. Brownie had laughed, but Hugh had made her stop. "I'm being serious here," he had said. "You are going out with a demon, so you are going to meet other demons at some point, and you need to be prepared. So listen carefully." Brownie wasn't sure, but she had listened anyway. "Normally, they have some sort of tattoo on their neck. The higher it goes on their face, the worse they are. The tattoo generally shows they're belonging to a demonic organization. It grows bigger when they do their job well. Also that," he said, pulling his hair on the side and letting 2 tiny horns appear. "I didn't know you had horns," Brownie said. "They appear when you do bad things, and grow up each time you do some. So the bigger the horn, the more dangerous the demon is. But they are also sort of stupid. So if you use smart words, they will be confused and not ready to act," he continued. Brownie had hugged him. "There is no way you can do anything bad," she had said. Hugh had laughed. "I'm still a demon." And now 2 demons were standing in front of her. The first one was big, with dark brown coat trying to hide his wings. A spider was tattooed on the right side of his neck, and its web was going up to his ear. And here is the one with the tattoo, Brownie thought, a bit scared. The other one was a lot smaller, but his arms were nearly reaching as high as his companion's eyes. And here is the one with the horns, she thought, holding Sahel tighter. As if he feared the danger, Sahel had stopped moving and laughing. He was just pressing his hidden medallion on his chest. On his branch, Viorel was counting the demon step, waiting for them to be at a good place to jump on them. "So, you want to play too?" Brownie said. Starting a conversation was the only way she had found to try to release her nervousness. "Play? What does she mean by play?" the bigger demon asked. "Yes, we are here to play," the other one answered. "Well, we were finished anyway, so we are going to let you enjoy the slide," Brownie said, trying to smile. She could feel the aquamarine on her skin getting warmer. "But you can stay to play with us," the smaller demon answered, taking a step more toward her. Brownie felt that she was going to be blocked somehow, and that wasn't a very good idea. Sahel was looking at her and at the demon. His wing had turned dark green, as he wondered what was going on. "His father won't be too happy if I don't bring him back home for lunch," Brownie lied. "His father?" the big demon asked his companion. "You say he was the one. He shouldn't have a father." "So, his father is a scary demon too, isn't he?" the smaller demon said, apparently not falling for it. "Yes, very scary," Brownie said. The aquamarine was starting to emit some light through her jumper. As the demon took another step closer, she pulled it out, blinding them both with the light. Viorel didn't expect that, but still used the occasion. As they were shooting at each other, telling each other to catch them, he had jumped from his branch. His form had parallel to the ground and had hit them both at the base of the neck. "Time to run," he said to Brownie, taking her hand. She followed him, not realizing what had just happened. As they passed the first street, she tried to look back, but he just pulled on her arm, forcing her to continue to run until they reached the garden of the house. He pulled his hand on his knees, trying to catch his breath. Brownie was always amazed to see him breathe. He was the only vampire in the house who needed to breathe, and she had a lot of problem understanding why he was so different. "Don't ever look back," he said. "When you're trying to escape, don't ever look back. That's a waste of time. If they are close enough to catch you, they are. Looking won't change that fact." He found his composure back in a few seconds. "We'd better go in," Brownie said, still out of breath, looking around anxiously. "We are safe here," Viorel said, sitting near her on the grass. "We extended the protection we put for Alberic to hide Sahel and you two." "Hide, hide," Sahel repeated, pulling at the grass. He had apparently recovered from the meeting faster than Brownie. "Why? And what were you doing there?" And a lot of questions floated in Brownie's head. "You didn't think that recalling a soul was without danger, did you?" Viorel said. Brownie had never really thought about the direct consequences of her spell. "When you recalled it that night, I'm still amazed that you succeeded, but when you did, we all felt the magic from your ritual, and it was really, really dark magic. I had a meeting with Isa that night, and we extended the protection on the house. I didn't tell him it was you. I know how he would have reacted, and I didn't tell him I knew the demons were coming to look for their lost soul. I just told him we needed a few more spells. That's also why I followed you today, because if you go out of the garden with Sahel, you're not protected anymore," continued. He threw her the medallion. "You'd better keep that." "Bonnie, Bonnie," Sahel said plaintively, looking around everywhere. With the medallion in her hand, he couldn't see her either. She threw the medallion back at Viorel. "If you can't see me, there's no use for that," she said. As she reappeared, Sahel gave her a big hug. She stroked his head reassuringly. Viorel stood up. "I'll find a way for that." Sahel had started to scratch his jumper right on his dark shadow, medallion again. As Viorel started to walk away, Brownie asked, "But if they want it so badly, why don't they just recall it as I did?" Viorel looked at her and smirked. When he smirked like that, showing his vampire fang, he was really looking scary. "Because you put so much love in that spell that they can't overcome it. Dark magic and love don't mix in general, but you did a very powerful job, even if I can understand how you managed it," he answered. As Viorel walked toward the house, Brownie looked at the invisible protective barrier that was supposed to keep the demon away without seeing it. Peter ran at her, apparently after his invisible fairy Cinnamon. "Cinnamon, come back!" Cinnamon stopped in front of Sahel's face and kissed him on the nose, making him giggle. She hugged his face and made some crystalline noise that Brownie recognized from when the fairy had been spying on her in the library's secret room. "Cinnamon said he needed to open his medallion if he wanted to stop scratching," Peter said. Brownie pulled Sahel's medallion out of his sweater. It was getting really hot, probably from the feeling that Sahel had been in danger earlier, she saw. She made Sahel open it, and the dark shadow got out, ready to fight. Cinnamon hid in Peter's hair. "Where are they? Where are they?" the dark shadow yelled, looking around. "It's over, we're back home," Brownie said, amused at the sight of the shadow, who had started to punch the air around. Sahel started to giggle too, pointing his finger into the shadow. The shadow pretended to clear his throat. "You should have let me out earlier then." He crossed his arm on his chest, pretending to be offended by their laughter. Cinnamon flew to him and started to move her finger under his nose in a very reprobating way. He tried to slap her, but she went hiding in Sahel's hair. "If you're nasty, I'll close," Sahel said, frowning. The dark shadow sighed. "How was the park?" Peter asked. Very nice. We fed the dog and played on the slide," Brownie said, not wanting to mention that they almost get caught by two demons that weren't there to play hide and seek for sure. "Slide is fun," Sahel said. Cinnamon came in front of him and pointed at the slide in the corner of the house. Sahel got up and started to walk toward it, under Brownie's amazed eyes. The dark shadow followed him. She followed too to make sure he wasn't losing his equilibrium again, but there was no use. Sahel was now running and climbing on the slide later. "He's growing up fast," Gideon's voice said behind her. "Yeah, this morning he couldn't even walk, and now—" She sighed, looking at Sahel. "He looks like a 3-year-old expert at sliding," Gideon finished, looking at Peter catching Sahel at the bottom of the slide. Brownie nodded. He was still wondering about how the demon had found them that easily. Were they still out there, somewhere in the dark, just waiting for an occasion to get them? When she entered the house, Gideon's holding Sahel's hand, Grenadine jumped on her. "You won! You won!" she said. Brownie didn't understand exactly what she meant by that, and threw her an interrogative look. "I'm going to see Mr. Elephant," Sahel said, starting to climb up the stair. "Be careful in the stairs," Brownie said. But there was no use. It was as if the sudden release of the dark shadow had made him grow even faster. "Mikala can't go in the baby's room to annoy Sahel and you for the entire week. Mum said she had to learn to see people for who they are and not what they are supposed to be." Grenadine was so excited. "Now I can bring my stuff and paint in the baby room in the morning," she said. The baby room was such a mess in the morning that Mikala wouldn't let anybody play in there or do anything except dressing the children. Grenadine had always wanted to sketch a baby as they just got up, but didn't want to start arguing. "I'm not sure that it's such a good idea," Brownie said, a bit worried. That is going to be a big mess, Gideon sighed. I'd better prepare to be there bright and early. It's going to be awesome! I can't wait to be there tomorrow morning. I need to prepare. Grenadine was smiling like crazy and ran up the stairs. Brownie and Gideon looked at each other. That's not good, Gideon said. Not good at all, Brownie answered. The only thought of having liquid paint and water in the same room as Yobi, in the room where other baby would have just woke up, was not a really pleasant one. I'll tell her just to draw, Gideon said. No painting, just a sketchbook and a pencil. Yeah, that sounds safer, Brownie said. I don't want to spend the whole day removing painting in that room, Gideon added. And I don't want to spend that day with the washing machine, Brownie said. Gideon started to run after Grenadine, and Brownie went back to her bedroom. Sahel was waiting on the bed, with a book open on his lap and hugging Mr. Elephant, his wings a bit yellow and green. The bad one before. You think they are stronger than a dragon? He said, looking a bit worried. Brownie had been wondering when that was going to come up. I'm not sure, she said, sitting on the bed next to him. You think they are going to come back? He asked, looking at his feet moving near the ground. Brownie wanted to lie, and to tell him that they were never going to come back again, but deep inside her she knew that it wasn't a good solution. Not for the moment, she said. When then? Sahel asked, insisting. I don't know, but for the moment we are protected here, she said, passing her arm around his shoulder and pulling him closer. When did you grow up so much? She thought. He turned to look at her, jumping, standing on the bed, passed his arm around her and hugged her. I'm protected because you're here, just because of you, he said. Brownie couldn't bear to see him so serious. She brushed his hair. I really scared them back then. I was awesome, wasn't I? She said, trying to laugh. Sahel started to jump on the bed with his hand on her shoulder. Yeah, you showed them your magic power, and they were down on the floor. He fell on his back, imitating the demo. Ah, my eyes! Catch them! Catch them! Brownie started to tickle him. I'm the big tickler, and I'm going to eat you. Ah! She said, making him laugh even more. Sahel pushed her gently and sat back, trying to catch his breath. If you do that, you won't be hungry for lunch anymore, he said. It doesn't matter, Brownie answered, attacking him again. You're too yummy. And here it is, the end of the chapter. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna show you something. Where is she? Here. I don't only have a book this week, I also have Grenadine's doll with her bright orange hair. So isn't she cute? Anyway, that's all for today, so see you next week for chapter 10.